Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Gala. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comments section. Always happy to hear from you. So in the description below, you'll also find a link to the Discord. Why not come check it out? It's free to join. Once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff and we'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Okay, so let's get into it. So for the most part, we were talking about the potential of having a diagonal still playing out here, or potentially having some extension within these waves that isn't apparent yet. And that is still valid because we haven't actually broken down past this 5034. So for as long as we hold this zone, effectively we can still look for this fifth wave. We need to see how this plays out though, because what we'd want to see is a move that is bigger than this wave 3, and effectively I'm going to just mark this up here. It would have to cross this 6901. So that would be an area that it would have to cross for this to be valid. And what we'd want to see is a three-wave structure. Basically, we'd want to see this play out something like this, as an A, B, and a C coming past this line and then looking to break down. Now we need to be careful. We could also see some further extension here. So we just need to give it a bit of time to see how we react. There is also a bearish option, which as long as we stay below this high point here, could mean that we're actually looking to extend to the downside. So we need to just see how these moves play out and sort of give them the space, because otherwise we're going to say something's completed and it still has potential to move up. So let's get into it. So basically within this, like I said, we'd be looking at this potentially as an A, B, and then we'd want to see this C wave to the upside. The structure within this isn't great, so it makes me think that this is either still in a corrective structure and we're going to look to push down one more time, or alternatively, this could be looking just to form a corrective structure up and then we look to break down deeper and take this low. So we're going to go over both options. So within the structure, we were talking about a potential for a 5-wave move to the upside. Since we came down into this wave 2 area, it is possible, however, that we do have to push down one more time, and basically what we'd be looking at then is potentially this is a B wave to the upside, and the one-to-one would actually bring us further down here into this 5237. So for as long as we hold this this high point of this 5773, effectively we can still potentially look to move down one more time, and the way we'd be looking at that is basically as a B, C, potentially forming a X wave here or a B wave. Like I said, it could be completed here, and then we could be starting that move to the downside. If what we'd want to see is something like this as an A, B, and a C. So this B wave could potentially not be completed as well, and it could be forming a more complex structure if we are looking at this potentially as a flat, maybe, if we do move up here. What we could see is off of this move down to there, we could see a move up to this 5917, and that would be looking at this B wave not being completed. So there is a couple of options here. We need to just see if this B wave does move up like this and we fail to actually continue up, then potentially we could look for this C wave to the downside. So this C wave could look to potentially test this this channel that we have here, or this bottom trend line rather, and alternatively, what we wouldn't want to do though is cross this low point of this 5035 if we're looking for this still to be a 2 or a B wave. If we cross this low point, it would invalidate the potential of this being a diagonal from this point anyway. It wouldn't make much sense having another move to the downside like that, unless it's actually looking to progress much deeper. So if we do hold this zone, and like I said, I don't really want to count this as an impulse yet. It could prove itself to be one, where this is a 1, we have a 2, and then we actually look to push up. But what we want to see is a substantial move to the upside, and given the current structure, we'd want to see a move up to the zone here of this 2194 confirmation. Then we could start talking about the fact that we have an impulse here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the upside. So this is something that could play out though. If we're looking for an actual impulse here, effectively we would have to move back, we'd have to move above this 605 area, 6805 area for a impulsive structure, the way we have it marked here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like we were saying yesterday, that would, if that does play out effectively, then we'd be looking for a move like this as an A, a B, and a C to the upside. So we'd be looking for that retracement, finding support on that 50% to 786 range, and then actually looking to push to the upside. So unfortunately, we're kind of really in this little choppy area here. So we just got to be aware of all the different potential things that can happen. This could just continue to move sideways here and really throw things off, sort of thinking we're going up, thinking we're going down, and then it moves and catches everyone out. So if it does develop as a flat, that would be something interesting here, where we get another push up here, even take this high slightly, and then look for that retracement to the downside. So we've got this impulsive areas that we need to look for, and then see how we react from there. If we actually break down and take this low of this 5, 3, 2, 1, effectively, I think either we are still within, like I said, that ABC move, which will be looking to move us down deeper here towards the 1-to-1 of that 5237, or alternatively, we're actually breaking down in one of the other options. So this is basically the bullish option that we're looking at within here, where we're looking for one more push to the upside. The other way of looking at this move is that it's actually completed further back here, and this is all just a big corrective mess in this area. And the way we can look at that effectively is by looking at it either as a WXY, which is not my favorite interpretation of it, but we can argue that this is a W, this is an X, and then potentially we're going to form a Y wave to the downside. So the 1-to-1 currently would be this 4792, and then after that, so the 1-to-1 of the Y would be this 4820. So there's a little bit of confluence in this zone. If we do start to break down from here, that could potentially be what's happening, where this becomes an A, potentially form a B, and then we look to break down for a C wave again. So within this, we've kind of within the zone. If we are looking for if we're looking for this as a potential B wave completed, we have actually come into the 786 zone. So if we start to break down here and look to move down again, this could potentially be that C wave we're looking for. What we'd be looking for here is potentially a move, like I said, to that 1-to-1. However, this could extend down slightly and basically look to move down towards this 1618 area potentially. I wouldn't, if we break down from this position, it would be interesting to see the structure we do so in, because it is, like I said, it is possible we could start to get some 5-wave structure down. If we do, then it might actually be more likely that the other option is in play. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. If we start to get some more sort of violent pushes to the downside and not so much a sideways action, we need to be careful, because basically what we have here is a 3-wave move to the downside here, 3-wave move to the upside here, and then this could turn into a 335 correction as a flat. So we were talking about that in the previous video. So if we do actually start to break down deeper here, we could argue that we have this as either a diagonal as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We look for that retracement for a B, which is pretty much the same as this. It might be slightly higher up actually. Let me switch over to it. Effectively, the way we'd be looking at it is like this. So for as long as we hold this point here, I've marked this off of this zone because I said we could have this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then actually we're looking to break down. So that is still possible for the most part. If we fail to break above this 5, 7, 2, 2, and then we start to actually get some more impulsive moves to the downside here, and we actually cross this 4, 9, 6, 6, it is possible we can look at this potentially as a 1, 2, and then we look to break down. The thing is, at the moment, this is just a 3-wave move, so it can invalidate. Basically, the 1, 2, 1, 2 would invalidate by crossing this 5, 6, 6, 1, where we'd be looking at this like this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then actually breaking down. So if that is playing out, we'd actually want to see that start to break down quite soon. Otherwise, it would invalidate the potential, and effectively, we would not be able to look at that move in this impulsive way anymore. If we do start to break down here, like I said, the area of confirmation would come by crossing this 4966. So this is all looking for a much deeper correction. Effectively, there's a lot of things that need to happen because, like I said, we'd have to meet this criteria as well of this yellow wave, which would actually be this 4500. If we move down past that zone, it is still possible that we could have this as a 3, 4, and a 5. And then basically we'd want to see this confirmation on this fourth, moving up into this 5141 to this 4789. 4791, and then actually looking to break to the downside again towards this area here of this 4392 to this 4230. This is still valid for as long as we hold below these zones. So basically I'd be looking for first of this 5840 that would invalidate this white structure. But if we fail to hold this zone here, this high point here of this 5864, then we can also invalidate this potential extension in a 1-2 here, and we'd have to either look at this as a move like this. So I'm going to actually just remove everything from the screen for a second because I don't have it marked up. So what we could then have is rather something like this, where we form this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as a diagonal pattern here, and then this could just be looking for a wave 2, and the zone we'd be looking for that, I'm just going to mark this up quickly. So we've actually come right up into that sweet spot. So technically speaking, we can argue that this is complete, but the structure wouldn't be good because we just have a 5-wave move like this, and it wouldn't make much sense. If we do, however, progress up one more time, and basically what I mean by that is have this as an A, potentially B, and then a C, or a W, an X, and a Y. But this does look like a 5-wave move, so I'd be anticipating a 5-wave structure to play out here. We don't have 5-wave structure currently. Like I said, if we get this as a 1, 2, and then we get a 3, 4, and a 5 up, then potentially we could look to the 786 area of 6001. This 854 would be sort of the last defense of this, as sort of a looking for it as a wave 2. We wouldn't really want to go too much higher than this. If we do, it starts to become more likely that we're going to break this high point of the 6293, and we're going to get a different structure playing out. But effectively, if we did have to push up again here, so I'm going to just throw a fibble for this A wave low and see what we get here. So 1-to-1 would be the 6192. This 854 would be quite close to this other 854 here. 786 is quite close to this other 786. So we'd have to see how this plays out. But given the current structure, I'm not really seeing it. 1, 2, yeah, it's not great structure within this because you come down so deep here. You can argue that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is a 2, and then like I said, we're going to look for that 3 and 4 and a 5 to the upside. But the impulse would then take us quite high. So that impulse, the third wave would take us to the 6227, which would be very close to this high point. The only other way we could look at it is if this is a complex 2, where we actually complete our 5 wave here, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, even though there is quite a bit of overlap within there. So if that is the case, effectively our third wave target would actually be the 6001, which actually lies quite nicely with the 786. So that could be something we get a third wave move up to. We come back down for a fourth and we push up to this 584, potentially try to target out these tops here. Or alternatively, we just start to break down. So we're going to have to give it a bit of time to see how it plays out. If we start to break down from this point, like we talked about in that 5-wave structure, we have our targets that we had said in there. So make sure if you go back, if you want to know more about that. Alternatively, like I said, we have this. This could actually play out as a diagonal looking at it. It would be very early days to say so, but we'll have to keep an eye. We could get something like this play out where we get a contracting diagonal to the upside here as a 5-wave, well, made up of 3-wave moves. This is obviously very rough at the time for the moment, but effectively what we could get is something that plays out like this, but as a diagonal wedge to the upside, where we get this as a 1, 2, but we'd want this to be made up of 3-wave moves. So we'd want to see something like this. Obviously this is not going to be to scale yet, but this is for illustrative purposes only. But we'd want to see an A, B, C, D, E, or rather 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a diagonal, not a triangle. The invalidation of this potential as a contracting diagonal would actually come by crossing above this 05917. So this wave 3 would actually have to be a bit lower than this. So we'd have to have something like this if we're going to argue that we have a diagonal playing out here. So if we just get this choppy sideways move here to the upside, it is possible we could see this diagonal play out. And if we argue, I'm going to just do this theoretically. So if wave 3 ends before that wave 1, and we get a move back down into this channel with this line here, effectively wave 5 couldn't go longer than 6206. So that could take us right into this zone here of the 786 potentially, if we look to have this fifth wave only progress as a 618 area of the wave 3. So that could be a zone that we actually look to break down from. That would also sort of take us into this high point here, and if it does move into here, it could be a swing failure and then look to break down. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Like I said, free to join. Come check it out. It is a great place full of great people. You won't be disappointed. And if you have a look in the description as well, you'll find referral links to BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis when we're doing our trading. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel. And as well, if you do meet the requirement of the deposits, you can get a bonus. You need to see what those requirements are within the links below. They will tell you what they are. Okay, everyone, hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next video. Take care out there.